Hi guys! So today I'm going to be doing a different video that's not book related, mainly because I haven't been reading all that much recently. Lately I've mainly just been watching a whole lot of different TV shows. I've always been watching a lot of TV, but it's kind of like expanded exponentially recently because I just got a Netflix account, and we all know that that's very damaging to your other free time activities or in general your real life. So instead of doing like a boring tag or something, I thought I'd recommend some of my favorite TV shows to you. Some of these are all-time favorites, some are recent favorites, or just things I've been currently watching. So I hope you find something here that you can also go and watch, because all the shows I'm going to talk about today are freaking awesome. And yeah, you should watch them. So the first show I want to talk about today is House of Cards. This show is already very popular, I know, and I totally see why. It's absolutely fantastic. I only started watching it last week, I believe. I think I started about the day the third season came out, and I finished like 5 days later. It is literally freaking amazing. I'm not in any way, shape, or form interested in politics at all, and I still really enjoyed the show. I learned so much about US American politics. I think I know more about those than about Austrian politics now. I think everybody knows what it's about. It's basically about the whip of the Democratic Party, Frank Underwood, on his rise up in the ranks of power in the government. He is just such a fantastic and multifaceted character. It's ridiculous. He has no scruples. He's ruthless. He's manipulative, and he's just awesome all around, and he always surprises you with these, you know, horrible things he does, and I just really enjoy watching it. I think the first season is definitely my favorite still. I thought the second one was kind of a little bit weaker, and then the third picked up again. The end of the third was where like, yeah, yes, let's go, let's do this, some shit. I just really, I think, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I think Frank in his position as whip is much more effective, much more, he does a lot more, he gets a lot more shit done than at the position he's in at the end of season 3, and basically, in my opinion, it's sort of like a downfall for him because he was much cooler at the beginning. Anyway, I totally recommend this show. It's pretty long. It has 13 episodes each season, and each episode is like an hour long. So I basically just blasted through the show, but it's really freaking cool, and I totally recommend it. The next show I want to talk about, I actually just finished this morning, and it's Hannibal. There's 2 seasons of Hannibal, again each 13 episodes, and each episode is also about like 40 minutes, 50 minutes long. Hannibal is about Hannibal Lecter. It has nothing to do with Silence of the Lambs. It's just basically taking the character, and I think it's actually based on a book called Red Dragon or something. So essentially it's just like a spin-off of Silence of the Lambs, just with Hannibal Lecter, but in a different setting. In the show, he's a psychiatrist who kills people and then prepares large, massive dinner parties for all of his friends, where he does like a ridiculous amount of fancy cooking. Like, the cooking shots are just look so amazing, and then you think about it as human flesh, it's like, yo, fuck you, this is horrible. But essentially the show is fantastic. It's a very graphic show. I have to warn you, if you're queasy, faint-hearted, don't like to see not even just blood and gore, but just like horrible things done with human bodies, do not watch this show. Just don't watch it. Also, if you're easily scared, the music is incredibly eerie and just creepy. Again, I started this show like last week, and I tried marathoning it like straight through. I couldn't do it. It's very exhausting. Like, each episode is so intense and so heavy and so dark, and it's just, sometimes you just gotta take a break, watch something else. That's like lighthearted. I think I watched like a couple episodes of The Mini Project throughout, because I was like, I cannot take the show like as is all the time. Most other TV shows that also deal with like heavier subjects, or not very happy-go-lucky, at least have some moments where there's like a relief, or just like a calm scene, or something where there's no creepiness going on. That's not the case with Hannibal. There's always something happening, and it's fucking like with your head, and it's just so creepy. And luckily there's no jump scares. I'm not a fan of this kind of cheap horror, but there's a lot of atmospheric horror happening, and there were a couple scenes, especially I think towards the end of the first season, there is the culprit is a girl who thinks she's dead, And if you've seen the episode, you will probably know what I'm talking about. There's like a moment where she like looks in through a window, and I just literally died. And also the way she killed her victim, I don't know why. It was this, I don't know, I've seen a lot of other shit before, because that was, as I said, towards the end of the first season, so I'd seen stuff, you know, it's not like that was the first murder of Hannibal I saw, but like, or in the show Hannibal, not by Hannibal, but it is just, I don't know why, but that did something to me, like the way that looked, it was so scary, and I had to like take a break and continue watching in the morning, because I was almost dying of terror. So I definitely recommend Hannibal. It is a really, really, really fantastic show, like a really fantastic show, but then again, it's also really, really maybe not for the faint-hearted. Here's a fun fact though, something I found out recently and that just completely fucked with my head. There is a character in House of Cards called Victor, I don't know what his last name is, but he's basically president of Russia, and he is the brother. In like real life, his character, I think is called Lars Mikkelsen, is the brother of Mads Mikkelsen, who plays Hannibal Lecter. Ah ha ha! Why is that such a mindfuck to me? I don't know, but when I found out, I was like, oh my god. I knew they looked alike, but that's a lot alike. That's a lot alike, just saying. If you haven't figured it out already, I really like murder and crime stuff, so I also am a really big fan of How to Get Away with Murder. I think it's only in its first season, pretty sure. Basically, the show is about a professor at a law school who, together with some of her students, works to like solve cases, law cases, and then we continuously from the first episode onwards get flashbacks, or like not flashbacks, but like looks into the future basically of how when the group themselves, like the students, they killed somebody, and we don't know who, we don't know how, we don't know any of the circumstances. So it's just kind of, in the entire show, it kind of jumps back and forth between the present and then the future, what happened, and then we go back to when they started working together, and then like it kind of unravels, and it's sort of, it's really interesting how the show moves. I haven't finished yet, I've like, I don't know if it's done yet. I have not completely caught up with how far it's progressed so far, so I don't know everything either, but so far it's been progressing really neatly. Like the sort of future timeline has progressed slowly, and then the present one is progressing a little bit faster, so we're like catching up, and it's just really, really interesting concept, and it's also just a fantastic show that I really, really enjoy. Same goes for another sort of law show. I know if you're not into that sort of stuff, I'm sorry, but I just like love it. Objection, relevance. Yeah, sorry. I think I also know both the American political system and the law system a lot better than the Austrian one. I almost feel like I could be a lawyer in the USA because I know some shit. I know all the shit. Next show is The Good Wife, another show I've literally marathoned in like, I think I tweeted about this. I watched all 6, it's 5.5 seasons because the 6th season is still going on, but like in 19 days, and it was 19 days, 74 hours of The Good Wife. That's ridiculous. I mean, I did have holidays, but that's ridiculous. The Good Wife is about Alicia Florrick, who's the wife of Peter Florrick. He was the state's attorney, and then there was like this big sex scandal where he, or like a corruption thing as well, and he had to sort of step down, and now Alicia is like in the spotlight, and she's really not comfortable there. She was a stay-at-home mom for like 20 years, I think, and now she has to get back into the law business to earn money for, you know, to support herself and her kids, and it's basically about her at our new firm. It is such a fantastic courtroom drama in itself. I really, really love Alicia Florrick's character development, how she progresses through the 6 seasons of the show so far. I just love it. I think she turns from this like really meek and like, you know, sort of submissive even to authority, wife basically, and housewife and stay-at-home mom, to a kick-ass lawyer who's ruthless and who, you know, some people said when she left law school that she didn't have it in her, and now she does, and now she's kicking ass left and right, and she's fantastic. It's really, really just awesome. I mean, like women power, feminism, awesomeness, and I just really, really enjoy this show. So leaving the courtroom, we go over to a prison. because that's how it works in the real world as well. Orange is the New Black, and that a Netflix original series that has stolen my heart, and I just adore it so much. If you haven't given Orange is the New Black a try yet, then you are seriously missing out, I promise you. It is... fuck you. Sirens, go away. Orange is the New Black is about Piper Chapman, who years after the fact gets put into prison because when she was like, I think in college, she and her lesbian lover were smuggling drugs, and now she has to go to prison. She is now engaged to be married to a guy, and he's very supportive, but he had no idea she'd ever been in a lesbian relationship, let alone that she was involved in drug smuggling, and so he's kind of taken aback by that whole thing. And it's basically about her getting into prison and being in prison, and not at all the type of person that fits well into a prison environment. She's like blonde and like a girly girl sort of, and she was sort of just in because of her girlfriend. She was kind of dragged into the whole thing, and she's not at all badass or anything. So it's really interesting to see her kind of stumble through prison life at the beginning. And again, character development is such a big thing with this show. Just last week I watched the entirety of season 2, and Piper in season 2 compared to Piper in season 1 is such a major change. It is fantastic to see how she just like has been shaped by prison life, and how she's like a lot more assertive now, and she knows her place in sort of the grand scheme of things. She isn't as like giving or like as malleable as she used to be, and she doesn't let herself be, she's not a pushover anymore essentially, and she's becoming this awesome person. And it's just like, same with books and TV shows. I love character development. That's for me is such a crucial part to enjoying it, because you know, the whole point of the show or this book is to show events happening, and events always have some sort of influence on the people that are experiencing it. And so if you miss out on the character development, it's just bullshit to me. I don't enjoy it. So I really, really love this show for that very reason. And also, it is so hilarious. All of the characters in prison, it's a women's prison obviously, so it's mainly a female cast, and they're all just so unique. They're all so interesting, so complex, and just the things we find out about them, especially in season 2, we get a lot of the backstories to a lot of the characters, and sometimes you're just baffled. You have no idea where they were coming from before. It's just so interesting, and they're all so fucked up in their own way, and it is a fucked up show as well. Wouldn't recommend it to younger audiences, but it is a very, very, very good show, and I 100% recommend it. And now here's a few honorable mention of TV shows that I haven't watched in a while, or like marathon in a while, because that's how I consider watching. I watch like the new episodes of everything basically when they come out, or at least I try to, but like marathon has been a while. So here are some shows that are also fantastic and you should watch. The Mindy Project, Parks and Recreation, New Girl, Modern Family, Scandal, let me think, Lie to Me, Sherlock, Girls, Elementary. The Vampire Diaries, sort of, the new seasons are an absolute shit show, but you know what, it used to be fun, I guess. Gravity Falls, Psych, Bones, Castle, Weeds, Downton Abbey, True Detective, and American Horror Story. And then a final mention goes to Drop Dead Diva. It's not a very good show, it really isn't. It's about two women who die, like a skinny woman and then a fat woman, and then the skinny woman's soul gets reincarnated into the fat woman. I don't know whether there's 6 seasons of it, but it is a perfect background noise because it's literally about nothing at all, and it's not good enough for me to want to actually pay attention to it, so it's very nice to watch. Just put it on Netflix, don't look at the screen, and do your work. That's how I study for everything. Yeah, don't take that as life advice, but do take the advice to go and watch all of these TV shows, maybe excluding Drop Dead Diva, but everything else, go and watch it because it's really, really, really good. Really good, like super fucking amazing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some new TV shows to watch. In case you're not into reading at the moment, it's totally fine. Reading slumps happen to the best of us, to literally everyone, and you just have to get through it, and the best thing to do that, in my opinion, is to go find a new TV show to marathon. Totally recommend you get Netflix. Here's just a fun fact, in case you didn't know, Netflix Austria, I don't think has a lot of TV shows, but there's ways to find sneaky ways to get actually your internet browser to browse as if it were in a different country. So you can, for example, for Hannibal, you need to connect from Norway, which is really weird. It's not on Netflix USA, but it is on Netflix Norway. Yeah, I don't know. Hola Unblocker, Mozilla Firefox, there you go. I'm telling you. That's the thing. So please go forth and watch all of these amazing TV shows. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite TV show is, if I missed out something amazing, if I skipped something, haven't seen it yet, didn't like it, whatever. Let me know down below, and I'm gonna see you soon. Have a lovely week. Bye! Hi guys! Happy March! Yay! Another month is over, which means I'm back at university. Oh my god. But yeah, the fact that it was holidays didn't really do much for my reading, because altogether I read 2 books. 2. That's not even kidding. 2 books. Wow. I think I read like 11 or 12 books last month in January when I still had like exams and university, and now I had a month off uni and I didn't read anything.